Welcome back to MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic. The Up and Up series returns, and today's installment sees us make a very small, minute change, although it will be much bigger than it seems, to our Ramos Dragon Engine 5-color Spellslinger deck. What's up, MTG That is the MTG Burgeoning community. We are back here with a very short installment of the Up and Up series, and honestly, we wouldn't be having this installment if not for a recent banning for a card that was found in the 99. So we must do our due diligence and create this Requiem for Golos Tireless Pilgrim, as his time being spent in the 99 of Ramos has come to an end. Golos Tireless Pilgrim has been banned, therefore he's out, and he can no longer stay in the Ramos Dragon Engine deck. However, a more than suitable replacement for the type of deck we have here in Ramos has been identified and gleefully added to the 99, taking Golos' spot with arms wide open is Varen, Voice of Duality. For 1 blue and a red, we have a 2/2 legendary Ifrit Wizard with the Magecraft mechanic. Whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Varen, Voice of Duality gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That pseudo prowess ability is it's admirable. However, the second wall of text, it's what makes Varen's potential so much more valuable in this deck. If we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell that causes a triggered ability of a permanent we control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this deck, this 5-color Ramos deck, is a traditional Spellslinger deck. So we are already trying to cast numerous different instant and sorcery spells. By including Varen here, being able to cast these spells and trigger numerous other permanents that are in the 99 an additional time is going to give us so much more value than anything Golos Tireless Pilgrim could have offered. Here is a sampling of some of the cards in the 99 that Varen is going to trigger most advantageously. Aria of Flame. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, we'll put 2 verse counters on this, and then deal damage equal to the number of verse counters on it to target player or planeswalker. So it will trigger once, we'll deal X damage, where X is the number of verse counters, then it'll trigger a second time because of Varen, and do X+1. Varen is going to double the verse counters and do more damage than Golos ever could. So Aria of Flame is one of those spells that Varen is going to link up with very, very well. Next, how about Aetherflux Reservoir? For an artifact for 4, whenever we cast a spell, gain 1 life for each spell we've cast this turn. So instead of just having that trigger once, Varen is going to trigger it twice. So we're going to be able to pay 50 life a lot sooner because of Varen being on the battlefield. Next up, how about double flying shark creature tokens? With Shark Typhoon and Varen on the battlefield under our control, whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we're going to create 2 XX blue shark creature tokens with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. You have to love Varen, and you have to love even more double flying shark creature tokens. Next up, we've got a few more spells just to highlight how well Varen is going to fit into this Ramos Dragon Engine deck. Example number 4 is 1,000-Year Storm. For 4 and an Izzet, we have an enchantment that reads, whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell we've cast before it this turn. We may choose new targets for the copies. Can you imagine the shenanigans of having a 1,000-Year Storm in play with Varen and taking off counters off of Ramos to get double Wooburg mana? we may be able to win the turn just with that synergistic combo by itself. 2 more offerings, then we'll close this installment of the Up and Up series. Example number 5, how about Niv Mizzet's Perrin? Triple blue, triple red, this spell can't be countered. We got a 5/5 legendary dragon wizard that flies. Whenever we draw a card, Niv Mizzet Perrin deals 1 damage to any target. So Varen's not going to have any effect with that specific ability. However, when we move further down the numerous lines of text that Nivi has, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, we draw a card. So although Varen won't trigger when our opponents cast instants or sorcery spells, our deck is filled with instants and sorcery. So whenever we have Nivi in play with Varen and we're casting an instant or sorcery, we're drawing 2 cards. And when we draw 2 cards, we're going to deal 2 damage to any target. Nivi and Varen and a swath of instant and sorcery spells. Oh, it's just going to be beautiful music. And the last example of why Varen is going to actually be a better fit for this deck than Golos ever was, Swarm Intelligence, 6 and a blue, or we use that mana from Ramos, of course, the double Wooburg. Swarm Intelligence reads, whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, we may copy that spell. We may choose new targets for the copy. So Swarm Intelligence is going to lay out there on the battlefield as an enchantment. It's going to synergize with Varen, and let's just say it's going to allow us to double copy, I don't know, maybe double copy Expansion Explosion, maybe double copy some of our other game-ending X spells. Suffice it to say, Varen Voice of Duality is going to step in as a replacement to the recently banned Golos, and her presence is going to make this deck so much stronger. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.